Tuscaloosa's longest-running sports show.
The biggest goal of our team,
especially in the first half,
we at Bama, we're trying to be the best. Always is to win a national championship.
Something cool to look back on.
We don't want to waste a failure.
You're inside the game.
John Mechie on the ground.
Appreciate your interest in the game.
On your home for Alabama sports.
And Alabama wins.
Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app. Powered by Tuscaloosa Toyota. And now, here's your award-winning host, Ryan Fowler.
And a big good afternoon to you. Welcome into the game. T-Town Tide at 100.9, 1230 WTBC. We take just a minute to welcome in those great Alabama fans to Tuscaloosa. And matter of fact, Alabama, the city of Tuscaloosa is busting at the seams. It is a packed house. I know it's a South Carolina game, but I think a lot of people, understanding the 11 o'clock start, have decided to make Tuscaloosa a part of your weekend, and we're glad that you are here. We take just a minute to welcome in those Alabama fans and also those Alabama alums that return to the campus. And one of those alums is going to be wearing the other colors. So we'll take just a minute to welcome in Mike Shula into Tuscaloosa. Mike was a former quarterback here at the University of Alabama. He's also an analyst on the Gamecock staff. So Mike Shula returning to the capstone as a former quarterback, obviously as a head coach. Things didn't work out on that end, but you look at Mike Shula when he answered the call and decided to come back to the University of Alabama, gave a lot to this place and answered the call when many people were not picking up the phone, and Mike Shula was able to do that after Mike Bryce's departure. So we take just a minute to welcome him back to Tuscaloosa as we salute the University of Alabama. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're also going to be saluting the 1974 SEC champions. We salute you guys for coming back to the capstone, and we're going to have a great show today. SEC Parlay Pick Day, presented by Brian Harden Construction. ASME certification, I-beam installation, fabrication. If you're building for the ground up, let's build something together. It's Brian Harden Construction. We are always powered by Tuscaloosa Toyota, TuscaloosaToyota.com, 3325 Scala Boulevard, and online at TuscaloosaToyota.com. The service department right now is buy 3 tires, get that 4th tire for only $1. Only happening through the month of October. Also some great interest specials as low as 1.99 on the Tundra. 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive options as low as, and a $2,000 loyalty cash attached to that. $1,500 loyalty cash on the Tacoma, and interest as low as 3.49. See the dealer for complete details. As we get things started, we will go. Let me look up at the call board. Paul and Lincoln, the traditional number one caller. I believe he beat Robert by a minute and 46 seconds. So Paul and Lincoln will be the first guy up there. We'll take Paul and Lincoln, Robert in Mobile. Pee Wee, I see you up there. We'll work our way to you. Bubba in Northport, see you. We'll get to you as well. And right now we go to Brent Beard. Lee Sterling is going to be a part of our show coming up at 4 o'clock. But right now it's Brent Beard, Jacksonville, Florida, ABC, NBC News affiliate. He's a radio guy. He's a TV guy. He also does podcasts with Travis Reier. Second helping. Brent Beard, welcome back into the game. I hope Paul as well.
Well, it is fine. The weather's finally turned down here, thank God, after the hurricane left because of the cold front. So we're looking at finally temperatures very soon in the 50s at night, which I've always said the first 50-degree night should be a state holiday here for what you go through during the months of April through October, or at least the first half of October. Quick note on Mike Shula being back in the capstone tomorrow. Obviously, I was at Tim Tebow's announcement for where he was going to play, and I can tell you, and I know you're aware of this, Tebow loved Mike Shula.
He did.
And he was very close, really closer than people realize, to going to Alabama, to playing for Shula. So that is one thing that people sometimes forget. I mean, that 2005 team with Brody Croyle, I believe that was a 10-2 team or close to that, beat Tennessee in Tuscaloosa, by the way. So I'm glad he's back, Ryan, and I wish he did more interviews with Alabama media, but unfortunately, for whatever reason, and I get some of that, that is just not kind of who he is. But Alabama fans, well, we still appreciate what he did and frankly being put in a very difficult situation after the antics of Mike Price.
A lot of new Alabama fans that jumped on, and we welcome you. We want you to be here. We're glad that you're here. We need your money. But a lot of people don't understand that when Alabama was calling, most people were not picking up the phone.
That's right.
Mike Shula picked up the phone, and I think we should be forever grateful because this was a program. And it kind of reminds me, not tradition-wise, because Auburn didn't have the tradition. It's almost like when you look at Auburn, going through the coaches, going through Florida with all the coaches, it's hard to get somebody. You've got to twist somebody's arm, and they twisted. I'm not comparing Auburn to Alabama. Don't get me wrong. There's 18 national titles. There's 1.5 across the state, so there is no comparison. But from a program that could not hire coaches, most people can't wrap their head around it if you're a new Alabama fan, but that was the case.
And I'll say this, too, and you know the story, is basically in 2006, after that season, Mike Shula was hiring a offensive coordinator away from probably keeping that job. Now, obviously, it worked out best for everybody in the long run. As a matter of fact, I do a podcast, did it today, with Gator great Shane Matthews, two-time SEC Offensive Player of the Year, and I mentioned Mike Shula to him on the air today, and Shane said, yeah, I was with the Chicago Bears, and Mike Shula was our tight end coach for 3 years. How about that?
Okay. Well, and we always enjoy Shane Matthews, always a great analysis of a lot of the quarterbacks just understand the game. It's fun to kind of pick their brain a little bit. Brent, I want to go back to last weekend because we've been yelling at each other. We've been fighting here in Tuscaloosa. If Alabama would have won, if Elijah Pritchett and that block and that fumble doesn't happen with Jalen Milroe, then we're probably not talking. But, I mean, we picked poor old Kellen to pour a Bart this week,
right.
From a perspective. We don't like his T-shirt. I don't mind it. If he wants to walk out with a Scooby-Doo underwear on and no shirt. I'm kind of curious. We're going to see how much of a sense of humor Kalen DeBoer has tomorrow and see if he trolls the fan base a little bit. Does he wear wear like a button-down shirt? Does he wear like one of those old tuxedo shirts? You remember when you'd rinse your tux and get you a T-shirt and it looks like a tux?
Absolutely.
Maybe one of those. I mean, who knows what it will be like? But your thoughts about Alabama losing to Vanderbilt? I know we're a few days away.
Difficult game. It was the perfect storm. And look, Alabama loses so seldom that it has to be the perfect storm to where they are not merely ready to play after a big win, and then the team they're playing is emotionally more than prepared in order to play. And then you've got a quarterback who has probably a once-in-a-lifetime game. Go back to Johnny Manziel and Steven Garcia and some guys like that. And then you're playing a team that has an offense that's really hard to prepare for. Really what Vandy ran was a wishbone. And those of us who grew up in the state of Alabama, particularly in the 70s, understand how difficult the wishbone was to prepare for. And at times it was the inverted wishbone, which made it even more difficult. Look, I'm not making excuses. Bama's got the better roster. They should win that game more times than not. They made a lot of mistakes. But I'll say this, if they learn from that game and they can get it under control, and particularly on the defensive side of the ball, then this Vanderbilt game will be just a distant memory, that like the South Florida game last year that propelled them to a playoff run.
Brent, let's go to South Carolina when you look at the rebound, because Alabama fans understand the next game, and now, as Kalen DeBoer said on Monday, you don't have as much wiggle room, I think is the way he described it. You don't have a march of error. Understanding that this is a very important game. You can't lose this one. This one's at home. If so, you could probably start getting ready for 2025. But Alabama, a little bit of pressure, but they come in as a big favorite. What are you expecting tomorrow for this Alabama football team?
I think they'll obviously play much better. I think you'll see a lot more intensity it's got to be that they have just simply got to get more out of their defensive line. That is a group that is just underperforming, frankly, and they need to be better developed. I think that's going to be important. I know they're going to get it out of the linebackers. I kind of sense that being able to come. But South Carolina is an interesting team in a lot of ways. I mean, they struggle with 22 sacks allowed. That leads college football. Tackles for loss allowed 46 is last in the SEC. And penalties per game with 8.2. So those are things that you look for. Lenore Sellers, I think, is a pretty decent option quarterback. He's a dual threat guy. Also, Robbie Ashford, believe it or not, is his backup, formerly of Auburn. They're really good on their front seven. South Carolina is. The Bama's going to be careful about that. They've got to block better and obviously tackle better. With all that said, Bama needs to get ahead early, and they need to stay ahead. South Carolina really had an incredibly surprising win over Kentucky early on, but you never quite know what you're going to get out of this team. But again, Alabama has a better players, and at some point tomorrow that should show. And they should take over the game.
You know, and the thing that we've been kind of throwing out there a little bit is you want to see that rushing attack cranked up just a little bit.
No question.
Because you can take some pressure off of that defensive side of the football. And I understand when you look at this high explosive offense, you don't want to back that off either. But it'd be nice if you could run the football and kind of shorten the game and shorten the amount of possessions you give the other team.
Well, and see, they've got to be patient with that, and sometimes you're only getting 3 or 4 yards, but the reality is you continue to run with those backs. Look, both those backs and Miller and Haynes only need a sliver of room, and they can get through and make a big gain. I'm with you totally with that. They've got to get more carries, so that's going to be important for them, and if that running attack gets going, it's going to open up a lot of other things too. The offensive line, I think, after they've got the pieces together that they need, is playing better. No doubt, the passing attack, frankly, is lethal. But I'm with you. They've got to be balanced, and there are going to be some games if they will be patient and be able to balance a rushing attack that you're going to have. Those backs with about 100 yards apiece or close to it, which is going to give you 200 to 250 yards rushing. And imagine what that passing attack can do if you've got that to back you up.
Brent, let's go into the big games. I start down in Baton Rouge. I tell you what, let's do this because we normally, you look at Red River rivalry. We're still kind of understanding that Texas, Oklahoma. You guys are part of the first conference Red River rivalry here. Texas, Oklahoma. Do you give Oklahoma much of a chance, Brent Beard?
Not really. I think Texas has the superior roster. I mean, again, Oklahoma, the Burke kid is out at wide receiver. That's a problem. They've had most of their wide receivers who have been out. They've had to change quarterbacks. Now, again, we know what they can do defensively and how good that Oklahoma is with that. But Ryan, I don't know. How they're going to get enough points to be able to win the game? I mean, they may get 14 points, 17 points, but Texas probably is going to double that, Ryan, and you're going to have a situation where I still think that Texas wins and probably wins pretty comfortably. Quinn Ewers is going to play, and that's going to be important. Now, if you're watching this game and haven't seen Oklahoma much, Danny Stutson is a tremendous linebacker who gets double-digit tackles every game. A lot of schools can learn from him. So, going to be very important and very interesting to see how this game comes out.
And then the other big game that I'm kind of focused on is LSU and Ole Miss. That's another big one. And now, because of you only have one team undefeated in the SEC, everybody has the same pressure that Alabama is. I mean, you're sitting there, Ole Miss, you're going, well, we can't go to Baton Rouge and lose this one because you kind of put yourself on the behind the eight ball.
Ole Miss is 1-7 on the road in its last 8 games against ranked teams, and that's something they've got to deal with. Their defense under Pete Golding, a familiar name, is better. The defensive line only allows 1.8 yards per rush, so that means they're doing something right, and they're only allowing, Ole Miss is 7.5 points a game. Now LSU was off last week. Garrett Nussmeier, I think, is playing well, but Ole Miss does have the better defense here. Bo Davis at LSU, the defensive line coach, I think the best in the nation. LSU just doesn't have the players yet for that coaching staff to help them as they really need to before it's over. But look, I'm with you. This is going to be going on during the same time that Oregon-Ohio State is. And unfortunately, a lot of teams are going to miss it. But this is really strength on strength. LSU's got one of the better offensive lines in the nation, going against one of the better defensive lines in the nation, and who wins that battle is really going to determine the game. Will Campbell and Emory Jones, two of the best on that LSU offensive line.
You know, Bye University and Auburn gets together tomorrow. Bye's the slight underdog. I'm curious who you like in this game. Can Auburn find a way to get the win number 3 of the season?
Yeah, I believe that they will. Right now, Auburn's more interested in basketball than they are football.
Can't say I blame them.
Yeah. But again, look, they've got a tough stretch, Ryan, don't they? They've got Missouri coming up that will want to rebound. They've got Kentucky coming up. They've got Vanderbilt coming up. And look, when you look at the Auburn schedule, Ryan, it's pretty tough to find 6 wins, is it not?
Oh, it is. No. 6 wins is like a fantasy. It'd be like me driving a Lamborghini to work. It's never going to happen. I mean, think about what it would take for them to get to 6 wins.
I agree. They would have to have much better quarterback play. But what they really need to do is Jarquez Hunter needs about 25 carries instead of 10 to 15. That's something that's going to be important to them. And I tell you what, Ryan, it's amazing that in our conversation we haven't mentioned Florida, Tennessee yet, and Kentucky, Vanderbilt. That shows you how good the week is in the SEC.
That's a good point. Good point. I mean, there is some solid football game. Any thoughts on that Oregon-Ohio State? I know that's not a conference game, but curious when you look at that game. You think Oregon is, I mean, here's Dan Lanning's chance. This is a big one at home, and they're the underdog, which I'm sure they can sell that to their players.
Well, they can. But, again, I go by roster, and Ohio State has the better roster. Henderson and Junkins, the running backs, are really good. And I think your audience already knows who else plays in their secondary. But the Ohio State defensive line is just nasty. I mean, they're allowing maybe 70 yards per run per game, or rushing per game. But again, I mean, you never know. Oregon, after a slow start, has stepped it up. Ohio State needs its competition, the games at Oregon. So it's going to be a fascinating game, to say the least.
No, it will be. It will be. Brent Beard, always great to be able to catch up with you, but even starts this evening. We got a Final Four banner in Tuscaloosa that will be revealed. How about that? I mean, that's even hard to say. Final Four banner inside Coleman Coliseum, and Alabama fans get a chance to see this Alabama basketball team. Is now we're 24 days away from tip-off with a team that expected to do some mighty damage this year in the college basketball arena.
That's a great opportunity for Alabama fans to really start to get to know that team. And look, they're very capable of, if we think what's going to happen, of raising another banner maybe something even better than the Final Four. But still, it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're, gosh, Ryan, we're less than a month, right? From
24 days. 24 days today. Brought to you by Alabama Credit Union.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So anyway, that's going to be a lot of fun, too. Should be wonderful weather this weekend, and for Bama to work out some of the bugs before we're going up to Rocky Top.
Brent Beard, I always enjoy the chats. Thank you again for being a part of the show. Second Helping, where you get your podcast. He covers the SEC, he covers ACCs on great radio stations like this, where you can also find him on the television set. It is First Coast News, Jacksonville, Florida, ABC, NBC News event. Brent Beard, I appreciate you as always. We'll talk to you next Friday. Thank you again.
Thank you, brother. Take care.
Hey, thank you. Absolutely. Brent Beard, we're going to open up phone calls. SEC Parlay Pick Day presented by Brian Harden Construction. I'll run through those spreads coming up in a couple of minutes, and we'll take those calls at 205-342-9904, 205-342-9904 here in Tuscaloosa. A great part of our community. We greatly appreciate him for being a part of our show. Not just serving our community, but our neighboring states as well. It's Brian Harden Construction. And today I'm going to give away a couple of different things. Okay, we're going to continue to do our package, but Dwight Yoakam's coming to town. I've got a pair of tickets that we're going to put in South Carolina and Alabama Parlay Pick Contest. Jackson, you've got a look on your face like you're trying to get your 3 picks in. I mean, what's the deal? You want to go by a fake name? I mean, you had this look like you were shocked a little bit. I mean, we give away concert tickets here.
Dwight Yoakam's kind of a big one, though.
He is. Dwight Yoakam's coming to Tuscaloosa at the Amp next Friday night. We're giving away a pair of tickets for Dwight Yoakam. And, for you out-of-staters, you're more than welcome to win these. And you could either use them or give them to your friend in Tuscaloosa, or maybe you've got a friend that calls into this program. Maybe like Jumbo, Bama Nick wins them. Which Bama Nick's been hot, by the way. He's been hot. I mean,
Did he hit you up after the show yesterday?
No. I'll be honest with you, man. This time of the year is the worst time to get me on phones or text messages. I don't.
It's so busy.
Well, not that I'm like too busy to respond, but I need to get me a burner phone like Hugh Hefner across the state, and then I could give like family out. Like my burner phone number, or maybe that's the number. But, Bama Nick.
Well, don't get carried away with the burner phone and start acting like Hugh.
Yeah, and growing looking like I'm on a 48-hour binge across the state. But, no, we won't pick on two-win football teams, okay? we're giving away Dwight Yoakam tickets. We'll also give away some let's give away another dinner to El Gran, which is right there. Patron, which is a great Mexican place on McFarland Boulevard. Carlos and the great guys right there. And you can go over and have the Jose Bowl, which is named after my friend, Joe Duckworth. Joe's a big celebrity here in Tuscaloosa, right? Joe's probably listening out there. He's probably going to send me a text. But and then you got Dana Duckworth, which was the gymnast here and also gymnastics coach. She has a dish named after her. So you can try the Jose Bowl named after Joe, or the Dana Bowl, which is outstanding. But they got fajitas, chimichangas, great tacos. El Gran Patron is a chance for you go over and get a little nice dinner. And we'll also, why don't we include a little Mark Smart gift package in here? Little Mark Smart. So we'll do dinner. We'll do a gift certificate courtesy of Mark Smart. And we'll give away a pair of Dwight Yoakam tickets, 2025 calendar, DanielMooreArt.com, DanielMooreArt.com. You can celebrate the special moments, including Deuces Wild, Ryan Williams catching that reception. I saw a little bit of preliminary drawings with that over Georgia. You can celebrate that. Kalen DeBoer's first SEC win. Now, we didn't know that we were going to get kicked in the teeth by Vanderbilt, but Vanderbilt, we're hoping that you'll win out and we'll have a rematch in Atlanta. We want some more of the Commodores, okay? I mean, I'm just putting that out there. So we'll take Dwight Yoakam tickets. Let's go to Paul. No, I got to go through the line. Forget about that. See, my phone's over blowing up because, and the other crazy thing, Jackson, I'll give you let me give you a little tip on Sports Talk Radio. People will text you during the show and they want a response. And they get mad. It's like, now hold on a minute. I'm gonna neglect thousands and millions of people that are listening to this show because I'm going to respond to one message. Because my phone will blow up during the show. I'll probably get 100 messages today. just during the show. And then it distracts me because I've got this thing called ADD. And people, I'm like, get your lazy butt off and call in. You want something to say? You want to gripe and complain? Call in.
I agree. Why do they text you? They can call and actually speak to you.
205-342-9904. 205-342-9904. And you know what it is, don't you? It's already trying to people to get the Dwight Yoakam tickets. We're giving away. Everybody's got a fair chance. Let me go through the parlay pick contest. South Carolina, Alabama, 21. Minus the 21, 50.5 is the game total. 50.5 is the game total. Alabama minus the 21. Now we're going to find out who the real Alabama fans are, because you got to take Alabama minus the 21.
How many 63-nothings are we going to get?
Oh, well, you never know. You never know. The Missouri Tigers going to be going to UMass. Missouri minus the 27, 54.5 is the game total. Texas, Oklahoma. Texas minus 14.5. Texas minus 14.5, 48.5. That is the Red River rivalry. No longer the Red River shootout. Georgia, Mississippi State. Mississippi State going to Athens. UGA, the favorite here, minus the 34, 54.5 is the game total. Florida going to be going to Tennessee. Tennessee minus 14.5, 56.5. That game's a 6 o'clock ESPN game. Probably not a lot of people watching 3-2 against 4-1.
Is that at Tennessee?
It is. Neyland Stadium in front of 101,000 of hillbillies, 915. So the 16-inch seats, I don't know many 16-inch butts in the SEC, okay? I'm just telling you, we got big butts, not 16 inches. So if you go up to there, it's the smallest stadium, smallest seats. Ole Miss, LSU, Ole Miss minus 3.5. 62.5 is the game total. Vanderbilt. Who did they beat last week? I have to look it up. But Vanderbilt, 3-2, 1-1 in the SEC. Kentucky, 3-2, 1-2 in the SEC. It's Kentucky minus the 12.5. We're going to put two non-conference games in there. Ohio State and Oregon. Ohio State minus the 3. That's an evening game, so you'll be able to watch Alabama, and you're going to be able to watch a lot of great college football. And then we'll also throw this Friday night game in here. Let's go Utah and Arizona State. We'll put that one in there, and we'll go Utah minus the 5.5. I did debate of putting Penn State at USC. I'll tell you what, I'm going to do it. I'm going to make the authoritative decision here. And I'll do Penn State on the road against USC. Penn State undefeated, but the reason I'm putting that in there because the West Coast and the East Coast games, they've not worked out for the opponent. Penn State. So now, when you lose a game, you got to pull for other teams like that are undefeated. They're number 4, you're number 7. You hope Penn State goes on the road and loses. So it's Penn State minus the 3.5 at Lincoln Riley's Trojans 3.5. Let's go to Paul in Lincoln. Paul can select the tiebreaker. Paul's really good at this tiebreaker stuff. Hey, Paul. Good afternoon, sir. You're in the game.
Ryan, is Tuscaloosa ready?
We're ready, baby. We're ready. We didn't expect to be picking our stuff up off the floor, but we're ready. We're ready. Vanderbilt.
Is Kalen DeBoer, is he ready?
I did. I had a meeting with this morning, and we got him dialed in, and we've got him a new shirt picked out, and I'm not going to tell you what he's going to be wearing because that's between him and I, but we're good. We're good.
Is Kane Womack ready?
I didn't talk to Kane.
Oh, me. Well, I thought
we might be hiring
I thought the very
Saban
least you would do would be talking.
Yeah, might be hiring Saban as an analyst. Can Saban coach defensive play? I mean, would you?
Well, one problem is that Saban's going to be in Eugene, Oregon in the morning. I don't think he can get back to Tuscaloosa in time to be an analyst.
You don't think Elon Musk could get him in one of those rockets and get him back over here? You don't think that's
well? Yeah. Yes. I mean, I tell you what, it'd be 11 their time is 9 a.m. our time, right? Maybe so. He'd make it happen. Make it happen. Ryan, you did say that you're going to be Alabama's going to be honoring the 1974 SEC championship team?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Why? Did I make a mistake?
No. I just wanted to give them a belated congratulations. for taking care of the Bugs in Legion Field that year.
Oh, okay.
17 to 13. That game went deep into the fourth quarter, I might add, though, Ryan. That game was in the balance until I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe it was Mike Dubose caused a fumble. Auburn had the ball on Alabama's side of the 50 and driving late in the game, and I think Mike Dubose caused a fumble and Alabama recovered. And then we played Tennessee in Knoxville that year, and Alabama beat them 28-6. So anytime an Alabama team can take care of the Bugs and the Vols in the same year, to me, Ryan, this is just my opinion. It don't get much better than that. So
okay. Well, and we're trying to pick ourselves up off this floor today, and I'll be curious to see how many Alabama fans take Alabama minus the 21, because that's a big number. That's a big number here at the house.
It is. It's very big. It's a very big number. What's the line on the? Did you have a line on the Auburn?
Yes, and I am going to include that. Let's. I tell you what. Let's you and I discuss this as a professional handicapper that I am not. What do you think? You think we should give by a few points, or you think we should give Auburn a few points?
Well, I tell you what. Given the fact that Auburn's 2-7 their last 9 football games, right?
Glory, man!
2-7 their last 9. I mentioned that I think Wednesday on the call. I think the Bugs are going to need a few points.
Okay, well, why don't we do Auburn plus the 7 against Bye?
Okay. And I tell you something else too, Ryan. Most of those losses have been in Lee County. Yeah,
which is part that's going to start stinging. I mean, they got to fight to get to Birmingham to spend Christmas in Birmingham. Let that sink in. How many of your friends over there in Lee County thought that they were going to be fighting their way to get to Birmingham? Because remember that this was a double-digit win season before the season kicked off.
Yes, Christmas in Uptown Village, Birmingham. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that, Ryan. That's a destination.
And Disney on Ice, they'll do that, and they'll tour the Vulcan. Mm-hmm. The Vulcan's always beautiful around Christmas time, and Red Mountain and the McElwain, what is it, McElwain Center or McWayne Center?
The McWayne Center, yes.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
There you go.
And they can
go to Topgolf. Topgolf would be another option. So
they can tour City Hall.
But that'll be. They got to get to 6 wins, or they're not going to be doing that. So
exactly. Ryan, do you think it's important for us to somehow get a running game going?
I would love to. I'd love to take a little pressure off that defensive side of the football.
I mean, we've got to establish the run. I mean, I think like you and Brett were talking about, to take a little bit of pressure off of the offense having to score, every possession or close to it, and it's just. I think this is Ryan. I know the next game is always the most important game, but I truly think this is a huge game. Not only for the coaches and the team, but I think for the psyche of the fan base. Would you not agree?
And let me tell you, Tuscaloosa has responded. It is packed. You would think it'd be Alabama. I'm not saying Alabama, Georgia, but the fans have arrived early, understanding the support that Alabama's going to need tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. They've got their butt in Tuscaloosa. Roads are jammed up. It took me probably an extra 15 minutes to come down McFarland Boulevard. It is packed in T-Town.
Yeah. Well, this is a big game.
All right, Paul.
Okay. Let's.
Do you want to do rushing yards? Do you want to do defense? I mean, we could do South Carolina offense. No. Okay. All right.
I'm not touching the defense. They got to prove me wrong.
Okay.
I think we need to establish the running games. I'm going to say total rushing yards for Alabama.
All right. Paul, give me 3 picks. Talk to me.
Okay, I think Vandy spent every every ounce of energy, every gallon of gas they had in the tank, I think they spent it all last week in Nashville. So give me Kentucky.
Okay, Kentucky minus the 12.5. Got it. Pick number 2.
What did you say the over on the Bama game was?
The over is 50.5. 50.5.
Give me the over in the Bama game.
Bama over. Got it. Pick number 3.
Give me the
Auburn plus the 7.
Give me the Quack Attack, the Oregon Ducks.
Okay, Oregon. And then University of Alabama rushing yards against those Gamecocks.
I'm going to go 195.
195. Paul and Lincoln, thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Roll Tide, roll MAGA.
Roll Tide. Absolutely. We'll come back. We'll take Robert in Mobile, Pee Wee in Grand Bay. We'll talk to Lee Sterling coming up in about an hour and 15 minutes. More phone calls. We are Tuscaloosa's longest-running sports show. I'm Ryan Fowler. This is The Game on Tide. Texas, Oklahoma. Texas minus 14.5, 48.5 is the game total. Over under, you can play either side there. Mississippi State at Georgia. Georgia minus 34, 54.5 is the game total. Tennessee, Florida, going to be traveling to Knoxville. Tennessee minus the 14.5. 56.5 is the game total. Ole Miss going to Baton Rouge, take on the LSU Bengal Tigers. Ole Miss 3.5. 62.5 is the game total. Vanderbilt at Kentucky. Kentucky minus 12.5, 44.5. Oregon going to be hosting Ohio State. Ohio State minus a 3. Utah, Arizona State. The game's in Tempe, and it's Utah minus the 5.5. And that is a Friday evening game. We like to put those Friday night games in there and give you a little something to think about. Penn State at USC. Penn State minus 3.5. Auburn, bye week. Auburn plus the 7. You can play the 3 and give us the rushing total for the University of Alabama. We go down to Mobile. Robert, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well, man.
Hey, man.
How are you, Robert?
Well, no one's still gotten any trust in Alabama's defense yet, I see. I guess what they were saying, trust is earned. So.
Yeah, a lot of doubters. A lot of doubters so far. A lot of doubters. But that's okay. I mean, hey, listen, I think I heard Nick Saban earlier today on Pat McAfee's show say that losing early sometimes can be a recalibration for your team and a refocus. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if you had to bring them into focus this week, then maybe they're not the team that we thought they were going to be.
Yeah, there should definitely be a lot of focus with all the rumors that the funding games are kind of ended after this week. Kevin DeBoer is channeling his inner Nick Saban. Is that what seems to be happening?
Maybe. But, Coach Saban also said he didn't tear his players down after a loss. He tore them down more after a big win. Yeah,
and that may have been where we kind of messed up. There was no tearing them down after that big win. But, I'm just getting back focused, and we'll see if they can rise to the occasion. I'm looking for them to rise. But definitely, I'm definitely taking Alabama. I picked in my the score prediction earlier was I had them covering. So why change now? So definitely pick Alabama. You said Penn State is what? How much?
Penn State is the favorite. It's 3.5 across the entire country at USC. I mean, that's a line that. But USC's 3-2, and Penn State's undefeated 5-0 right now. So Penn State is the favorite out of the Coliseum in Los Angeles.
Yeah, they can underachieve it. I go with Tennessee. With Tennessee over Florida.
Okay.
Alabama, Tennessee over Florida, and you giving us Missouri with the Minutemen? I guess the Minutemen.
Yeah, Missouri minus the 27. So you want to go Tennessee, Alabama, and pick number 3 is Missouri. Is that where you're going?
Yeah, Missouri.
Okay, on the road. Didn't go very good for Missouri last week against Texas A&M. University of Alabama rushing yards is our tiebreaker, Robert.
Man, of course, I'm sure Millwall's going to run more in this game. I hate it, but it looks like that's how it's going to have to be. I'm going to go 225.
Okay.
You think Capitals might be Milroe running. We do need to get our running backs running, but I think we missed that opportunity last week when we had. I'm sure that's what they were trying to do, but the defense just decided they didn't want to help us out. So
you're chasing points. Got to chase points. Got to chase points.
Yeah. The offense, I think, is going to have to be in the. We're going to do everything. We're going to treat everybody like Georgia, jump out to big leads early, and hope we can keep in front. I don't know if the offense is going to be able to trust the defense at this point. So let's jump on teams early, and which means running Milroe a lot. When we run Milroe, I think we're practically unstoppable by anyone. You don't want to do that because you want to save them for these bigger games. But we thought we could relax them against Vanderbilt, and that didn't work out too hot. So it looks like right now every game's a big game. I heard some people say that we can't lose two. If we lose two, we're out. I don't think that's the case. Not on the playoffs. We probably won't make it to the SEC championship game if we lose another one. I still think the magic number is 3 that gets you kicked out of the playoffs. But they do need to play like rest of the season, almost like, this is we're in the playoffs already. Have that attitude now. So you already given up your mulligan, so now you have to keep that attitude. You're in the playoffs already. So it's interesting to see about the Texas game, though. As the first time in quite some time, it hasn't been played at noon. I wonder how that's going to affect the team.
It's a good point. Good point. Red River rivalry. Out in first conference time. But I want to go back to something you said just a couple of seconds ago when you look at the playoffs. Okay, let's look at some metrics. You're a number type guy. Football Power Index has got Alabama still with about a 70% chance of making the playoffs. So if you look at Alabama, you have Texas, Ohio State, and then Alabama is the third highest team. You've got them as far as a projection still between 9.9 and 10.5 is the win total. You have a 13% chance of winning out, 100% chance of 6 wins, winning the division, which is limited to the SEC. It doesn't count with the SEC. Winning the conference, a 16.9%. Reaching the playoff is a 70.7%. Making the national championship game is a 19.4%. And then 11.1 to win the national title. So those are some of the metrics looking at the Football Power Index.
Yeah, those sound right. That's Vanderbilt losses. Again, it's a albatross right now around your neck, and so it's going to take a while to get rid of it, and you're going to have to pull out some big wins to get rid of it. Fortunately, we do have some big wins on our schedule that will help. Although Tennessee win isn't quite as big as it was before, but it's still a big win. It'll still be a big win compared to other people. Now, but, everybody's going off right now, but there's going to be some losses. There's no other reason. Teams are going to, undefeated teams are going to play each other. So other teams are going to get losses too. And there's going to be a lot of teams with 2 losses at the end of the season. But, this parity, it is really good. It's so, everything's interesting right now. There's no sleeper. There's no more of this talk of it's going to be the same 4 teams. No one's saying that anymore, are they? So this expansion has definitely opened up what I kind of figured it would. It's opened up everything. Unfortunately, all that transferring for the portals is accounting for a lot of that too.
It's kind of countered it a little bit. Kind of countered it just a little bit. And I'm a little bit afraid that the regular season's been harmed a little bit.
Oh, not really. No, we lost to Vanderbilt last week. Would that have counted? Would that have hurt us any less if it was a 14 playoff? Would we have felt any? Look at how we're acting, losing to Vanderbilt. Look how we're all feeling, and that would expand the playoff. Don't kick us out, but we still feel just as bad as if it did. And the football season is just too short. It's a precious gem, and all these games are precious because there aren't many of them. So no, it hasn't diminished it any. It's just giving us more games to watch and bigger ones, really.
All right, Robert. Appreciate you, man, as always, man. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
All right, buddy. Catch you later.
Right back to you, Robert in Mobile. Pee-wee in Grand Bay. Pee-wee, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well, man.
Oh, I'm doing good, brother. How are you?
Man, I'm good. Getting ready for this big game, and Tuscaloosa's busting at the seams, man. A lot of folks have made their way to T-Town. Probably a early start. It's kind of made people have a sense of urgency here.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of thought it would be like that. It's like y'all been talking about. You know, it's a big game. You know, this is a big deal right here, because if we come out and lay another egg, things are going to be bad. I don't think that's going to happen.
Now,
I actually think that we're going to.
As the assistant offensive line coach, what did you think about that right tackle spot, man?
Well,
I mean,
it was hard to see.
Did you coach them up this week?
Yes.
Okay.
They got coached up this week. You know, I never would have believed that would have happened to him the way that it happened, and then with the result, took a lot of wind out of our sails. You know, I hated it. I hated the whole way the whole thing unfolded. Somebody asked me, they got real mad, and I said, no, I didn't get mad. I said, I was very disappointed was what I was, because I thought we would play much, much better in that game.
So did I.
You know, so, but like you say, it's a new week, and like you said, with Coach talking to McAfee, you know, sometimes that loss can kind of wake you up and get everything realigned, you know, give you that sting a little early and say, hey, look, you know, it's not the way to do things. There is a way to do it, and we need to be doing it.
Well, and you look at as bad as Alabama would have played, didn't play very good. If that fumble doesn't happen and Elijah Pritchett doesn't whiff on that block on that right side, Alabama wins the game, and all this stuff that we've been talking about is really for null.
Exactly. We had the ball for 45 plays. Is that correct?
I don't know the number. 9 possessions.
Somewhere in that neighborhood.
17 minutes.
Scored 35.
That's great. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah, good way to look at it. Yeah, I never thought about like that. I mean, that's a lot of points in a short amount of time.
And it's because we couldn't get off the field, you know, to give the offense the ball back. So it's just, you know, too many things happened. Like y'all was talking about earlier. You know, Vandy was ready. They have an extra week to prepare. They were fired up. You know, we were coming off the big win. We've all seen it happen before. You know, you come in, you come out flat. That pick six put us a possession behind. We never really recovered after that. We never could get right there to make that up to retake the lead.
And hopefully they can, you know, respond a little bit better, Pee Wee. How do you think the team's going to respond? Do you think they're going to respond with a?
I do. I think they're going to come out there. I think the defense is going to have a real big chip on their shoulder.
Good.
But I think the offensive line, you know, I think they want to try to get out there. Excuse me, and exert a little bit of domination out there to be able to, you know, set a line where they can't get in there and give Jalen some time to throw the ball, but also create some running lanes or seal up in the end for an end around with Jalen running the ball, you know, on a design play. A lot of times, you know, we don't catch part of it, but you don't actually seal that end of it off, and a bigger run ends up being maybe only 4 or 5 yards where it might have been, you know, 13, 14 yards. So it's there. I know it's there, Ryan, but they just got to do it. It's a matter of how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
And are you willing to do what it takes to get it? Everything that we want is still in front of us. We have to win out, but it's all there. And it's in our control if we win out. If we lose another one, who knows what happens? You know, so you know what's got to be done. Now you got to go out there and do it.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, and we'll see. We'll see. I mean, but I think tomorrow we're going to know a lot. You know, Monday when we do our show, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Good, sponsored by DanielMooreArt.com, is we're going to know a lot about this football team. We're going to know a lot about this coaching staff. How do they respond after a loss? And does this team respond to the coaching up? Are they a little bit more attentive than they were in the previous week?
Exactly. Do you focus that little bit more? Do you put a little bit more effort into what you're doing to make sure that it's being done right?
All the coaches said no, that it's a normal week, that it's a 1-0 mindset. But I mean, think about you and I. When we take an exam and we didn't do very good, then you would go and study more, right? You're more dedicated. But if you happen to win that game, then you probably kind of put your foot off the gas just a little bit.
Yes, exactly. So I'm hoping that I'm actually hoping, since this is an 11 a.m. start, which is normally not the best starting time for us, but since they're already up and practice starts at 10?
Well, it depends. Okay, on Thursday it starts at 10, but all the other days start at 9. I think they're going to be fine. I mean, I think Alabama, from a morning practice team, kind of counters the 11 o'clock start.
Well, I'm actually hoping that it might give them a little bit of an advantage.
Yeah, well, no,
because they're already up that early in the morning every day anyhow. They're already used to getting everything ready, getting their meal, doing their prep. All of that, they do that during the week. Where normally, in the afternoons, they may not do that till 11 or 12 o'clock. So I'm hoping this time that at 11 a.m. that this early practice schedule that they do this year, I hope it makes an advantage.
It's a good point. I mean, the NFL, they're all morning practice teams, or the majority of them. So yeah, I mean, I think Alabama's got a good approach. I mean, I just want to see what this Alabama team football looks like defensively. But this rushing attack needs to crank up just a little bit, kind of maybe take a little pressure off that defensive side of the ball.
That's correct. Well, we need to be able to control the ball. We need to be able to do to other people what got done to us. Control the ball, deny them possessions, and make sure that when you get the ball that you score. You got to take advantage of your situations. We needed a turnover bad last week, man. Bad. We needed one, and we didn't get it. So you got to create your own sometime, but you got to play solid. You can't let them do like they did. I remember another game that happened. I can't remember exactly who it was, but we just could not get off the field, and we should have won the game, and we ended up losing that one too. So, I don't know, brother. We'll see what happens.
All right, Pee-wee, give me 3 picks. What are you thinking?
All right, I think I'm also going to go with Tennessee over Florida.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Penn State.
Okay, Penn State on the road, minus the 5.5 at USC, 5-0 against the 3-2 team. Penn State minus 3.5, not 5.5. I'm sorry. Pick number 3.
And then I'm also I think I'm gonna take Ole Miss.
Okay, Ole Miss in Baton Rouge, and that one is Ole Miss minus the 3.5. Also in the University of Alabama rushing yards. Where you want to go?
187.
187. I got it, Pee-wee. Thank you, man, for being a part of our show.
Hey, I appreciate you, brother. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. We'll continue with more phone calls. We'll come back when you have to know it's being done right. That's the time to call Rumsey Environmental, 205-248-0002, 205-248-0002. We're taking your phone calls if you want to jump in. We'd love to have you at 205-342-9904. SEC Parlay Pick Contest, Alabama, South Carolina will be an early start tomorrow. Game day all day. Game day all day starting guess about 6 o'clock, right? So 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, they will get you started, and then we'll have game day all day. We'll do our 2-hour pregame, and then we'll turn into a 3-hour pregame show, the Crimson Tide Sports Network, and then we'll do the game, and then they'll do a postgame show, and then we'll do our postgame show. It's really all game day all day. Game day all day. When you talk about it right here tomorrow. So right here on your flagship home of Alabama Crimson Tide football, remember to download the Tide 100.9 app. It is a free download, Android, iPhone, Google Play. And as you're thinking about the weekend action, BetU, consider that a social network app for your betting your friends. You want to challenge some Gamecocks, you can find it there, legalized in the state of Alabama. BetU, download that app. Let's continue with more phone calls. And we go here to JR and Coker. JR, good afternoon. You're in the game.
Well, hello. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm good, JR.
I think this is the first time this year I called you back-to-back days, one day after the other.
Man, that's awesome. Thank you.
I know it. It is. I mean, it's rare I had the chance to do that.
I mean, normally you're just a buzzard, right, JR?
Yeah, that's what everybody says. That's what I was telling Jackson. I said that I was always accused of calling just during the contest games.
And we're just having fun. Time. We're just having fun.
I know it. I love it. I don't care. I do. I'm guilty of it.
So you claim to be and I think Red gave you that title, that you were a buzzard.
I probably was. I miss that joker.
I do too. I've got a screwdriver here in the studio that I use to adjust the thermostat, because we have a thermostat that's locked in a box. I have a screwdriver that has his initials on it, Craftsman 2. And I think about that joker all the time when I use this screwdriver to break in the thermostat out here at the radio station, because our morning crew, they like it a little hotter. And
you up there in that little area upstairs, all the heat goes up there. You're not upstairs.
Yeah. Well, JR, talk to me with 3 picks. What do you think?
I'm going to go with Alabama.
Okay,
Alabama. I think we're going to rebound.
Okay.
And what is the line on that anyway?
Bama minus the 21. Bama minus the 21.
Oh, yeah. I'll take that. And I'll take Vandy.
Okay, Vanderbilt.
And I'm going to take LSU.
All right, so you got LSU, Alabama, Vanderbilt, LSU, and then the tiebreaker is University of Alabama rushing yards.
177.
177. Bama, Vanderbilt, LSU, 177, JR. And, hey, I want Vanderbilt to bounce back too, man.
I do too. I mean, I got to take do something different, because I hadn't won in so long. So I'm just diving into that. 63-0 was one of those. So let's hope that these picks today aren't near as bad as what that was.
Yeah. Well, Bama, Vanderbilt, LSU, 177, JR. Appreciate you, man, as always.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Let's continue, and we go here, 205-342-9904. Elias, good afternoon. You're in the game.
Roll Tide, Ryan. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. I hope you are as well.
Yes, sir. Another busy weekend.
It's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big one. You got a high school football game tonight?
Yes. Have ACA homecoming tonight.
ACA homecoming. Okay. Who do they have?
Tarrant.
Tarrant. Okay. All right.
Yep. So I'll be there tonight. But I don't know about you, Ryan. Is it me, or does this feel like it's been the long 7 days, in between games after this loss last Saturday?
Okay. No, it has been.
It's been a long 7 days.
It's been a long couple of days, and it has been. It has been. It's been, and hopefully this team responds. I'm sure because as much as, Alabama fans have been hurting, think about how they've been hurting in that building.
Exactly. And also, eyes are really on them now to see how they respond this Saturday as well too. So people may be paying attention to the Ohio State Oregon game, but eyes are still on Alabama to see how they respond after their losses last week. So I think they're going to bounce back though. I think they'll be just fine because a lot of times it takes for a loss to happen like that you didn't expect to happen. So I would say, okay, I need to refocus. I wasn't focused. You know, sometimes it takes that to get the response you need out of your team. So, and I hope they do respond well tomorrow.
Okay. Elias, give me 3 picks. What do you think?
Let me take the over on Ole Miss LSU.
Okay. Ole Miss over. And that is over 62.5. Over 62.5. All right, pick number 2.
Let me take the over for Missouri.
Okay. Mizzou is you said the over?
Yes, the over for Mizzou.
And that's 54.5. Okay.
And of course, you know I can't never go against my guy. Let me take the good guys at 21.5.
It's just 21. Bama minus the 21. And then we're going rushing yards. Kind of need to smash somebody in the mouth.
Yeah, we do. I'm going to go with 193.
193. I got it, Elias. Roll Tide to you, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you, and roll Tide.
Hey, right back to you. Let me remind you about the Wharf. If you're looking for a great place to get some work in Western wear for the entire family, those camo options. I know you guys who throw sticks will be out there on Tuesday, right? Deer season opens up. Throwing sticks is bow hunting for those terminology, but all of us rifle hunters get a late start. But, hey, you guys get that good start. Camo options at the Wharf, the work in Western wear for the entire family. Since 1976, the work in Western wear for the entire family. You'll find it at the Wharf, McFarland Boulevard. You pass by El Gran Patron and the blue plate. If you went too far, turn around on the right-hand side of the road as you travel westbound. The work in Western wear for the entire family. 60 different brands of boots. Justin, Tony Lama, Red Wing, Georgia, Double H, Timberline, Laredo, and many, many, many more. It is the Wharf since 1976. We're going to continue. We're going to take phone calls. We have one line available, 205-342-9904, 205-342-9904. Lee Sterling is going to be coming up in just a couple of minutes, about 25 minutes away. We're doing our parlay pick contest presented by Brian Harden Construction here on Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC. Your home of Alabama Crimson.
No.
Okay. Is it a smartphone? Is it a smartphone?
No, because I'm talking to you, so I guess it's not a smartphone.
Tommy, I mean, I feel like teaching I feel like I'm teaching my grandparents the thing about a computer or something. What in the world is that?
That's right. I'm like, why do I hit this little red button? It cuts me off all the time.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. Yeah. I wouldn't do that. You've waited too long to get on the show.
Yeah. So,
all right, Tommy. Well, I'm ready for your 3 picks, man.
I'm going to take the over on Alabama.
Bama over.
I'm going to take Tennessee in the point.
Well, you have to give up the points. Tennessee minus the points.
Oh, yeah, mine.
Yeah, 14.5. Yeah, because if we take it Tennessee in the points, I want some of that action.
Yeah.
All right, Tennessee minus the 14.5.
I'm going to take Missouri minus the points.
Okay, going Missouri on the road, 27 at the Minutemen. UMass on the road, 1-5 football team. And then we go University of Alabama rushing yards. Where you want to go?
206.
Okay, 206. Bama over, Tennessee, and Missouri 206. I got it. Tommy, anything else?
No, I'm going to let other people get on, so I'm going to have to hang up so J-Rob can call you.
Okay. All right, well, I mean, this is, like I said, man, it's just, Tommy on a cell phone. It just, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I feel like I need to call downstairs and see if HELL's frozen over.
Well, it's like Revelation. there's a lot left untold, and me being on a cell phone is probably one of the prophecy of end time. So
yeah, that's what I'm going to call downstairs during the break and see if HELL's frozen over. I mean, this is just amazing. See, it's.
You can't see me, so it's not amazing. Seeing is believing. You just don't have to hear me and believe me.
Yeah. Well, hey, we're all for you, Tommy. I mean, tell J-Rob to take you to the AT&T store or Verizon or T-Mobile or wherever you want to go and get you one of them fancy phones, man. I mean, this would be awesome.
Okay, yeah, T-Mobile, yeah. You got an account there. I'll put it on your account. Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah.
If I have witnesses there, I'll put it on your account.
Yeah, just tell them you know me, and you should be able to work it out.
Yeah. All right. Well, be good.
I'm impressed, Tommy. I'm impressed.
You should be.
And we are. Thanks.
All right, man, be good.
Tommy on a cell phone. Tommy's on a cell phone. Can you believe it? Tommy is on a cell phone. For those who are listening, they're like, what in the world are they talking about? Tommy has been against cell phones for as long as he's been calling in. So today he's calling in from a cell phone, and you could tell he was on a cell phone. So Tommy and Romulus calling us via J-Rob's cell phone. All right, let's go to Josh in Georgia. Josh, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well, man.
Everything's great. I'm sitting here in Tuscaloosa behind University Mall, and if I look out the window just right, I'm within shooting distance of J-Rob and Tommy.
Well, you just sound like you guys are having a good gathering.
Oh, yeah, and some of us ain't even here yet, and then we've got a group. We're going to have a gathering later at the Buffalo Wild Wings.
Oh, really? What time is that going to be happening?
Approximately 4:30. Okay. Not my choice because I'm the out-of-towner in the group.
4:30. Okay. Well, let me look. See if I look at the schedule. Oh, I'm busy. I'm busy. I'm not going to be able to make that one.
I know, and I feel bad, but I'm the out-of-towner in the group, and I ain't got control.
Whose idea was it to meet at 4:30, Josh?
Well, you really want to know? I'll give you this clue. He's not small.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He's been trying to duck me all week, so appreciate the invitation. Really do.
If it was up to me, I would have scheduled it around your time to where you could have come by. So, but anyways, you will be missed. But, hey, I'm in Tuscaloosa. This is a beautiful town, beautiful city, and it just does something for me every time I'm here. So then went and got a couple of other shirts while I was here. And we sitting here listening to your show. I'm currently on your show and sitting here looking at some of these matchups for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big weekend. I mean, it's a
big weekend.
It's a great weekend when you look at the college football action. I mean, you got some big games, man. It kind of starts. If people go to the Final Four reveal, which is a big thing.
Right.
But you start with college football. I mean, you got Utah and Arizona State. It's pretty solid. You got Northwestern and Maryland. Okay. I mean, that doesn't really get you fired up, but it gets you kind of juices flowing for the weekend. But then when you look at the weekend, whether it's Alabama, South Carolina, from a local perspective, certainly we have a lot of interest around that game. Ole Miss, LSU, Oklahoma, Texas, the Red River rivalry. Then you've also got Ole Miss, LSU, Oregon, Ohio State's another big one. Florida, Tennessee, I mean, we'll keep our eye on it because Tennessee is our next opponent, so we want to see how they play coming off that loss. I mean, you got a lot of big football games, man.
Oh, for sure. And outside of the conference, that Ohio State, Oregon one is something I would definitely want to at least keep my eye on the score. I know it's the same time as that LSU Ole Miss game, and that's a conference game, and I tend to watch conference games more than anything.
And Ohio State's not played anybody. They played Akron. It's kind of like Texas. Texas hadn't played anybody either.
Right.
You got Ohio State. They played Akron, Western Michigan, Marshall, Michigan State, and Iowa.
Hey, real quick.
To hang your hat on.
And I know the answer to this, but I just want to throw it out there, and maybe Digger's listening, and I'll take my shot here and then give you my 3 picks. Doesn't Texas have to go up to Vanderbilt this year?
They do. Yep. Texas plays Oklahoma, then they play Georgia, and then they go straight to Nashville. We'll see how they like the triple option.
That's a three rough stretch of games right there. I don't discount that Red River rivalry. I wouldn't definitely discount the Bull Puppies going into Austin. And then you got to go play the mighty, mighty Commodores. Texas has got a rough 3 stretch right there. But anyways, I'll give you 3 picks, and we'll get off of here. I'll take Alabama, the over. I'll go with Tommy on the over.
Okay.
Whatever.
It's been a very popular pick. Nobody trusts our defense, huh? 50.5 on the over.
We can score that by ourselves.
Okay. Pick number 2.
That's why I'm picking that. I will take Missouri.
Okay.
On the road.
Mizzou minus the 27. Nobody's taking Texas and Oklahoma either. Nobody's really
Hang on. And I'm taking Oklahoma plus the 14.
14.5 is where you get there. So you got a little hook. University of Alabama rushing yards. Where do you want to go?
250.
250. All right. Bama over, Mizzou, Oklahoma, 250. Well, Josh, you guys enjoy your gathering, and I hope you guys choke on a chicken bone.
Hey, I'm going to eat enough to cover for me and you both, and then you can fuss at the other guy later. I'm really hurt. I don't know how. I'm the out of towner in the group. I don't have control.
Yeah, I don't know how I'll ever recover from this. It will be it'll be a challenge. But Jackson, I'll make it. Jackson, I will toughen up, and we may go to Taco Bell afterwards. But we're tough. We're going to make it. We're going to make it, even though our friends, so-called friends, want to invite us. I mean,
Marty was nice enough to stop by.
Yeah, Marty was, but the rest of them, like I said, not on my good side right now.
Well,
not you.
I know.
JUMBO.
Yeah.
And I'm going to let Bama Nick have his address. Bama Nick's going to clean up my baggage for me.
Lord.
He's going to do my dirty work.
Oh, Lord.
All right, Josh.
You better. Yeah, buddy. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. We'll continue with more of the game. We're taking your phone calls. If you want to media school in the entire country, and Jackson has rubbed off on me, completely neutral. Marty was trying to bribe us, okay? He wanted us to, because you have to wait a little bit to get into the game. Marty brought us a autographed Coach Bryant photo, and he found it, and I'm very thankful for that. And also the Derek Thomas rookie card. He knows that I'm a Derek Thomas. That's my fan. Listen, I would, obviously I'd never be able to do that, but hey, when you look at Derek Thomas was my all-time favorite player. Love to be able to hear stories about Derek Thomas. And Marty, we go right back to you. But Marty's been waiting 34 minutes. Damon in Arkansas is 33. Max in Tupelo's 20. J-Rob is 12, okay? We're completely fair and balanced like everybody else is. And, Marty, I say thank you publicly, man. Thank you again for the print, man. That's awesome.
Sure. Well, I got to get, like I said, you might have to dust it off, but you got to hang it up. Your wife's got to let you hang it up for one day next to next.
I got to figure out where she wants me to put this.
Just one day next to Nick Saban, and there's history I get to learn about because that was my man, and I'm blessed. I'm almost 70. I lived through both of them, and then you say this is my man here. And he brought Alabama back from the dead. And Bear Bryant changed the culture of Alabama football.
Well, and that's pretty awesome. How'd you get a hold of this, Marty? That's an awesome print, man.
I got it gave to me right after. George Lapidus gave me that because he knew I was an Alabama fan. But I put it up because I was moving and I stuck in the dad's attic. Well, Dad passed away about a year ago, and I still didn't know we had it. And when we got up there, they said, Marty, you got a thing up there you might want. And I said, yeah, I'll take Hey, Brian, you were invited to this. I said, I'll give it to Ryan. Because Zach says Bear's a second-rated coach. Saban's his coach. So he didn't want it. So I said, well, Ryan collects stuff. And on that card, I have 4 of them. A lady gave me 4 of them.
Well, that is super kind. I appreciate you thinking about me, Marty. That is.
Well, I knew you like Derek Thomas. I like Derek Thomas too, especially.
I don't have anything autographed by Coach Paul Bear Bryant. And I'll tell you, Marty, I've never shared this story on the air, but I had an autographed photo when I was a kid of Coach Paul Bear Bryant. I was born in 1978, and even though I was very young when Coach Paul Bear Bryant passed away, my family, back when we were young, we went through a house fire, and it burnt down probably in the middle 80s. And so my Bear Bryant photo that I had autographed is no longer. Anyway, so I'm very thankful that you thought of me. Thanks, Marty.
Well, I hope. I'm talking to Ryan right now.
Okay. Marty, you got 3 picks for me, man?
Ryan.
Yeah, go ahead, Marty.
Yeah, but I mean, I just hope you enjoy it.
No, I will. Thank you.
You know, that's all. But hey, take it. I didn't come through the right way because I was going to take it, show it to Rudy Allman or whatever, that guy to cook, because I was going to get something to eat there. But I got lost in Tuscaloosa. Man, I got on 15th Street.
It's easy to do, man, with this big crowd. It's easy to do with this big crowd.
And then downtown, I didn't know where I was at on University. I just parked the car and walked. I knew where, but dang, when you hadn't been down there in about 5 or 6 years, it's different. But I found out where the pizza place was because Zach loves pizza, so I know where that is when he comes down. But Ryan, my picks are Oklahoma.
Okay, Oklahoma.
That's Oklahoma. Alabama. And Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. Somebody else believes in Vanderbilt. University of Alabama rushing yards. Where do you want to go?
185.
185.
No, do 150. Do 150.
Okay, 150. Okay, got it. Hey, Marty, I hope you have a great rest of your day, man. Thank you again for being a part of the show.
Hey, you know what? We weren't supposed to eat like this. You were supposed to have Rudy Allman and that, and we were supposed to run out that place, and everybody was cooking a.
You had somebody. Had somebody there that didn't want me there, and his name is Jumbo. Yeah.
No, but not that. Remember, we were going. You rented that one place out, the Bod, and then the guy Rudy Allman was going to cook for us. We were going to rent.
Oh yeah, Southern Ale House Dockside. Yeah, with our
Dockside.
Yeah.
We were going to cook and all that, but that didn't come about. All right, Ryan. Hey, you have a good weekend, and I'll yell at you later, okay?
All right. Thanks, man. Thank you, Marty. Thank you again.
Yes.
Let's continue. We'll go from one Marty in Arkansas via Tuscaloosa to another Arkansas, Damon. Damon, good afternoon. You're in the game.
How about that, Ryan? How about that Bear Bryant autograph?
I mean, like I said, I don't have an autograph Bear Bryant. I had one when I was a kid, and like I said, we had a house fire, and Marty brought me a big, gigantic print of Coach Bryant autographed, and it's pretty awesome, man. Yeah.
So how's the vibe down there right now, Ryan? That's what I want to know. How's the vibe in Tuscaloosa? Is it electric? Is it getting there?
It's almost like, okay, it's not Georgia, Alabama. That was another level. But it's a big game because you could tell the atmosphere, you could tell the environment, you could tell that people have decided to come to Tuscaloosa early and get ready for the weekend. Obviously, a big game, and here we are.
It's an incredible game coming up because it's going to define what this team's made of. Is what it's going to do. You know, we need to know, and everybody needs to know. And I think these guys are going to come out and shine tomorrow. I think they're going to come out and do what they need to do. But I got a question for you.
Okay.
I got a deal about NIL. I think we should have Bama Nick and Jumbo in a cage fight.
Yeah.
And all proceeds go to NIL. What do you think about this?
You know what? I think this is a wonderful idea, to be honest with you. Really do. I like it.
Great.
I
think it raised a lot of money.
Yeah, I know. I think this would be a so we'll put Bama Nick and we'll put Jumbo in a cage fight. Retirement party.
Do I need to call Dana White for this?
Yeah, we could do Dana White. I mean, he could borrow a couple of we could set this up at the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. We could set it up in Coleman Coliseum like before a basketball game. We could do that.
Absolutely. How about have Digger be the referee? Digger could be the referee.
Digger?
Referees every now and then
like that.
Get body slammed and kicked and stuff. And that'd be great.
I like it.
I'm just making plans.
Well,
who are the sponsors going to be?
Oh, Tuscaloosa Toyota. They're in.
The Miller High Life for Bama Nick?
Probably Pat's Blue Ribbon.
Yeah,
right?
He's a PBR guy.
PBR guy.
Yeah. But now Bama Nick, every now and then he's a Bud Light guy.
Oh, really? He went that way?
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, he's big.
Kind of down on him now. Kind of down on him, Ryan.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Well, I mean, I don't know what it is, but it was rough. It was rough. But how would you handicap that fight, Jumbo and Bama Nick?
What's the way to? We got to know the weight a little bit, but Bama Nick,
Marty's about $150, and Jumbo's about $350.
Oh. Man, if Jumbo ever gets old Bama Nick down, it's over. I mean, he'd probably pick him up over his head, spin him around a little bit, and slam him a few times. I'm about to go Jumbo on this.
Okay. So you got Jumbo as the favorite here, okay?
I think Jumbo's probably about a 2.5-point favorite on this fight.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, how about the line of the Tennessee game, though? You see that line came out today?
Yeah,
was it 3.5 Alabama?
I did. It was kind of a head scratcher, was it not? But I hate when lines come out before games are actually played. Like.
Well, me too. Yeah, me too.
Who knows? I mean, think about if you called and what Damon's talking about is there was a line that came out of early Alabama, Tennessee. It's like, guys, let's just get through South Carolina. I saw a Georgia, Texas line. Georgia, Texas. It'll be a great game next week, but, who knows what happened tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, Ryan. Well, I appreciate you taking my call. And
all right. You want to give me 3 picks?
You dang right to do.
Okay.
I'm going OU.
OU. Got it.
How about that, Digger? I'm going Bama.
Hey, that's for you, Digger. Texas guy. The empty trophy cabinet. Oklahoma plus the points.
Croc wearing the tube sock, burnt orange style. Yeah. That's him.
Yep. From Louisiana. They're too poor to pay attention.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
Yeah. Going Bama.
Bama minus the points.
And can I take the under on the Bama game? Because I think the defense is going to show up tomorrow. I really do. Can I take that, or
you sure can? No, you can go under 50 under 50 and a half. So under, and then we'll go rushing yards for your Alabama Crimson Tide.
Man, I'm thinking 170. I'm hoping 250, man. That's what I'm hoping for, but I'm thinking 170. I think we're going to throw the ball down the field.
All right, we got it, man. Thank you, Damon.
Thank you, Ryan.
Right back to you. Thank you. I think I may have cut you off there. Damon in Arkansas, thank you for calling in. J-Rob, we'll get to you. Coming up next, T-Town Todd, 100.9, 1230, regular season tomorrow.
This is the biggest game of the season, Ryan, because of finding out what this team is made of and what this coaching staff has instilled in them. And it's to find out, does this coaching staff have any Bama in them? Because you know as well as I do, being a Christian man, God created us up above before we were put in our mother's womb. Well, in some of us, as he was creating us, he wove Bama in that fabric. So just because Kalen DeBoer is not from here and ain't been here, that don't mean he didn't weave some Bama in it. So we're about to find out tomorrow. It's about to go down.
I think you should do the pregame speech, Max.
I was going to say, that was getting me hyped up over here.
Yeah, I mean, I think you should be the pregame speech guy, Max.
Well, that's an awesome compliment coming from a guy like you, Ryan. Thank you.
I mean, we need to get somebody fired up over there. Maybe.
I'm the guy.
Yeah, maybe you could talk to the defense and then the offense.
I tell you what, I could give Kalen DeBoer about a good hardcore, 5 minutes at wide receiver or corner. Now, after that, I'm done. I'm 43 years old. But I can give him a good 5 minutes and be solid as hell now, I'm telling you.
5 minutes, huh? 5 minutes, huh? Okay. All right.
Yeah. I can give him 5 minutes.
All right. Well, here we go.
Yeah, my wife has things over here. I hope she don't say anything.
I didn't know where you were going, but now listen, Tony's got some medication that can help you with that.
Pharmacy at Midtown, bro.
The pharmacy at Midtown. The pharmacy at Midtown. And Tony can hook you up. I don't know what he calls it. What he calls it? Big Richards. Yeah, Big Richards.
Anyway.
You don't let your flagpole touch the ground is his motto.
Well, I think if my instincts are correct, South Carolina's about to get one of them pharmacy at Midtown flagpoles tomorrow.
Well, we hope. Max, just give me 3 picks, man. You've already dug a hole now. I don't know where we can go.
We ain't got a ladder to get out of here, neither.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
All right, give me Oklahoma. How about that, Digger?
All right, Oklahoma.
Give me them Ole Miss Rebels.
Ole Miss, got it.
And give me them damn old red pack and iron.
All right, go Bammer. Ole Miss and Oklahoma would go rushing yards against the University of Alabama.
They're rushing yards against us?
No. Our rushing yards against them.
Oh, give me 240.
I got it, man. Thank you again, Max.
Roll Tide. Hey, guys, I'm coming to Tuscaloosa tomorrow. If anybody's got any ideas and spots for tailgating, just say it on the radio. I'd like to meet some of you guys and match a face to some of your voices.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know they do several get-togethers. The next guy that is right after you, he's kind of like the president of tailgating.
Okay. Well, I would like to swing by and shake his hand. Roll Tide.
Thank you, Max. Appreciate you. Let's go Max in Tupelo to J-Rob. J-Rob, good afternoon, sir. You're in the game. Hey, J-Rob. J-Rob, going once. Going twice. J-Rob?
Not very fan club presidential.
Yeah. I mean, J-Rob, what happened to you? I bet you Tommy's trying to show him how to use his cell phone, and he didn't know how to use it. See it?
Well, I think he's over there in the Buffalo Wild Wings crew.
Oh, they are? Oh, they're in that crew?
Yeah.
Okay, well, J-Rob, president, gone. Let's go to Quick Dave. Quick Dave, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well.
Oh, everything is perfect, Brian, and I'm just curious. You think it was Tommy from Romulus?
I don't know. It kind of sounded like AI.
Well, what I'm saying is I couldn't do an imitation like Rich Little, but this is Tommy from Romulus, and, I told them fellas that Vanderbilt was a good team, Brian. That just didn't sound like him.
The only thing I could have done is test Tommy is ask him about Tennessee, and then he could have either – because, he can't stand when you look ahead.
Oh, yeah. Well, let me give you my pick before we can get somebody else in here that can talk with you, and I will go with Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, got it.
I'm going with Alabama, and I'm going with Alabama over, and I'm going 221 rushing yards. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Thank you, Quick Dave. 205-342-9904. 205-342-9904. Let's go to Corey in Trussville. Corey, good afternoon. You're in the game. I hope all is well, man.
Hey, Ryan. How you doing this afternoon?
I'm good. Hope you are as well, man.
I know you think I've been hiding, but I just couldn't get in. The lines have been real busy.
Well, it has been, and I've been worried about you, Corey. I've been worried about you.
Well, this has been a very stressful week. I mean, we lost to Vandy.
Vanderbilt. We lost to Vanderbilt, Corey.
Hey, Tony, is that you?
Yeah, Tony's on hold.
Oh, I thought he was in studio with you.
No. He's on hold. He's like 2 or 3 callers behind you.
Oh, Tony's returned.
Well,
I missed his calls.
Yeah, I mean, he hadn't been calling in. He's been so depressed. I don't know what's happened to him.
Brian, have you gotten over this loss yet, or are you waiting to see what happens on
I want to see what happens tomorrow.
Have you heard good things in practice?
I've just kind of heard just so-so. It's just been so-so.
Well, I know I've read the injury report, and I know just because somebody's questionable isn't 100% guarantee they won't play or will or won't play, but if we can get these 2 receivers back with Law and Prentice it'll be a big deal. But as far as that, I'm going to go with, I'm going to take Alabama.
Okay.
I'm going to take LSU.
LSU.
And then I'm going to take, hey, Ryan, before you my last pick, isn't there a bunch of other SEC teams off this week?
There are. You've got Arkansas. Now, we did place the Auburn. I'm not sure if you've heard about this, but they're having a practice game against Bye University, and it's Auburn plus the 7. Bye's a really good offense, and Auburn doesn't have an offense, so it's Auburn plus the 7 tomorrow. And then Texas A&M is 5-1, 3-0 in the SEC. They're off as well.
Did you do the bonus game of Oregon and Ohio State?
I did. I sure did. Yeah, we did that one, and we actually did a couple of others.
What's the line on that? What's the line on that game?
We did Ohio State minus the 3.
Okay, I'll take Ohio State.
All right, Ohio State, and then we go on University of Alabama rushing yards.
I'm going to go 140.
140. All right. So, Corey, do you believe that this Alabama team can get back on track?
I need to see the defense make some major improvements because this is you got to before you go into Tennessee because if we screw up against South Carolina, even in a win, I just have a bad feeling going to Knoxville because you know Josh Heupel's going to be licking his chops with Alabama coming. I need to see us put up a good fight defensively with this 4-2 ends.
I got you. All right. Well, Corey, I appreciate you, man, as always.
Good to talk to you, Ron. Roll Tide.
Hey, right back to you. Blue Spring Living Water always prevents our injury or presents our injury report. This week, the injury report is very simple. Yancy Pierre is out. He's a linebacker. Kendrick Law, wide receiver, questionable. Kobe Prentice, questionable. But you got 5 guys out. Jared Brown out, wide receiver. Solomon's out as far as the defensive back. Kelvin Hunter, defensive back, is out. Moore, offensive lineman's out. And then DeAndre Jules, defensive tackles, out. So those guys are all out for South Carolina. Alabama's got one guy, Yancy Pierre, out. Kendrick Law, questionable. Kobe Prentice, questionable. Kobe got hurt in the Vanderbilt game, and Kendrick Law got hurt against Georgia, so he was not able to play last week. We need him back on as far as the blocking, the toughness that he brings to that wide receiver room. We'll come back. We'll take more phone calls coming up in just a couple of minutes. T-Town, Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. Well, pretty much status quo around the area right now. We have the slows in the typical areas, and that would be on Lurleen Wallace. You're going to have that all the time and in both directions between 15th Street and McFarland. I know that's a long stretch, but you do have on and off with those brake lights, and then McFarland Boulevard. You'll slow down now mostly in the eastbound lanes to Lurleen Wallace, and then moving on Main Street northbound onto McFarland. Watch out for those slow goes. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Thomas.
This October,
Brand is the great Mexican place in Winn-Dixie Shopping Center. Go over and see my friends Carlos, 205-391-4555, 62 McFarland Boulevard, Monday through Thursday, 11 until 9:30, Friday and Saturday, 11 until 10:30, Sunday also open 11 until 9. You'll find the great daily lunch specials. You'll find great entrees, including the great fajitas, great desserts. The kids menu, always welcome. The call ahead orders as well. El Gran on McFarland Boulevard. You'll find it at Winn-Dixie Shopping Center. Friday here on The Game is always powered by Brian Harden Construction, industrial contractors and fabrication, laser cutting, CNC machines, reverse engineering, experience you can count on. Let's build something together. BHardenConst.com, and we're looking for people to become a part of our winning team. Structural welders, pipe fitters, you'll find those at Brian Harden Construction. Let them guide you, and if they're not able to help you, they can guide you in the right direction. It's Brian Harden Construction every Friday, made possible by Brian Harden Construction here on The Game on Tide 100.9.
Against Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A sunny sky this afternoon, the high at 81. Clear tonight, the low 53. The weekend will be warm and dry. A good supply of sunshine tomorrow and Sunday. The high tomorrow 82, the high Sunday in the mid-80s at 85. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 78 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Where the legends of Alabama football hang out.
McCarron, draw play. Lacey, huge hole. Touchdown. Yep. Alabama touchdown.
The Game with Ryan Fowler.
So it's always fun to catch up with you, man.
Yeah, me and my son are going to watch a high school game to scout tonight.
Okay.
We were listening to you on the way. So
all right. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Hope we can get back going tomorrow.
Well, what do you think? How do you think this team's going to respond?
I think offense complements defense, and I think that we're not really good on defense, but and we score so quick. We can't possess the ball. We're so explosive at receiver with, those young receivers, and we're so explosive at quarterback. And I wish we could get in there and grind the ball out a little bit, run it a little more, and keep our defense off the field. And then it's hard to tell. We sub so much on defense. It's hard to tell. Do we not know who our best 11 are? Are we trying to match up, or are we playing so many people to try to keep kids from transferring? It's hard to tell, but Overton ought to play more. That's just my opinion, but I obviously don't coach there, but I don't understand why he doesn't play more. And then it's interesting. It's hard to figure out, but I do know this. I've been there, and I've put those hours in, and I've put that time in, and working from 4 a.m. to midnight, and watching film and grinding. And I know fans spend a lot of money, and I know fans care, but there's nobody that cares more than the coaches or the players. So I know it's they're up there at 5 o'clock in the morning running bleachers and lifting weights and watching film, and the hours and the time that they put in is. It's unbelievable. So,
well, okay. Do you normally, as a coach, do you get more out of your players after a loss?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, just like you've got kids, I've got kids. Kids will listen to you more after something happens. They
That's
always
true.
believe
That's true. Very true. Yeah, very true.
This ain't gonna happen to me. This ain't gonna happen to me. And you can sit there and tell them all you want, but eventually. When you get on that bus and you're headed back from Vanderbilt, it did happen. You can preach it, but it's hard to get them to believe. It's really hard to get them to believe when you're winning. If you don't get better at doing this, or if you don't take on this blocker better, if you don't run this route better, or if you're not more disciplined. But if they're winning, coach, it doesn't matter. They don't know what they're talking about. But when you get beat, I think it magnifies things. So I would expect they'll play much better tomorrow. So.
And we hope. It's a big spread, though. Alabama minus the 21. That's a big number. We've had only one person have taken Alabama. Normally at this time of the week, it's Bama, 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 Bama. We've only had one person. Everybody's touching the over, but that's kind of like they don't believe in the Alabama defense. So,
yeah. Well, South Carolina's going to be spread, and I think they'll play much better tomorrow. So.
I want to see what these tackles are going to do against these edge guys. When you look at South Carolina, they get after the quarterback, so it'll be
they do,
and a pretty decent secondary too.
Yeah, I wish we could get in there and run the ball a little more. Some gap schemes, knock folks off the ball, and a lot of good quarterback runs, and I like the pass and stuff. But I wish we could get in there and run those two running backs we got. A little bit more myself. But
how much do you think Kalen DeBoer learned after this loss? Because coming from the Pac-12 is you look at Alabama's going to get everybody's best game. And I had lunch today with Slay Bolden. He was with our lunch group, and I asked him, I said, when you see things on film, how much is it that every team plays Alabama better than everybody? He said, it's not even close. It's not even close. So you see stuff on tape. They save all the wrinkles for ALA, BAMA. They always do. And I think Vanderbilt probably saved a few as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, you're coming off an off week. You can sit in there and draw up wrinkles. But, Kalen DeBoer's a good football coach. I mean, proof's in the pudding. An inside zone at Washington's inside zone at Alabama. It's just the intensity with the fans, the intensity of the SEC, and, it's just magnified as far as that. But football's football. I mean, the way you block a punt at Washington's the same way you scheme to block a punt at Alabama. But it's just I guarantee you there's not as many people on a call-in show in Washington as you're getting in Tuscaloosa today. You know, it's just different. They got other stuff that they do, I guess.
Yeah, well, and I remember him going back, and he did an interview with my friend up in Seattle, and they were talking about, said, what's the biggest difference between UW and Alabama? He said, we're the game in town. We're the only game in town. He said, there is no NFL. There's no Major League Baseball. For them up there, hockey's huge because it's so, it's north. He said, it's Alabama football. It's Alabama football. He said, that was my biggest shock coming to the South of just literally how much focus is. I mean, look at us. I mean, we do 12 hours of content every day from 6 a.m. in the morning to 6 p.m. in the evening. It's all Alabama football. I mean, they don't even do close. And I know several of the radio hosts up there, and, they spend, maybe a third, if that, on college football. But, hey, Jamie, you want to get part of this parlay pick contest?
I'll take Alabama.
Okay. All right.
I'll take Georgia.
All right. Georgia against Mississippi State. That's a big number, but it's minus the 34. All right. And then pick number 3.
I'll take Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Okay. Okay.
And that, what is that, minus 3?
3.5. 3.5. Then Alabama rushing yards total is our tiebreaker.
I hate to say this, but I think Alabama's going to rush for about 80 yards. I think we're going to have to throw the ball to beat them. I think their front's pretty good.
Yeah, and you know what? I just looked it up. I was a little bit shocked that South Carolina only gives up not a lot of rushing yards. They're 33rd in the country in stopping the run, so it's pretty solid. I haven't looked at a conference rating because I like those a little bit more, but rushing defense pretty solid. I mean, that defense is – they got our work cut out for us. South Carolina, middle of the pack, 6th in the league in rushing yards per game. Let me see what average yards per attempt is. Yeah, see, it drops on down to 4th. So they're 4th best rushing defense when you look at average yards per attempt.
And the only way we've been able to get numbers with quarterback runs for some reason. And then if you look at, you better watch Beamer with the special teams. That worries me. They're always going to be good in special teams.
Yeah, good point. So. Good point. Another one. Yeah, Beamer ball. All right, Jamie. Well, listen, man, it's good to hear your voice, and I appreciate you calling in.
Good to hear from you. Roll Tide.
Thank you. Roll Tide. Jamie's a long time. What is it, 25 days until the big Tuesday? So we'll see. But I know Tony's always charged up talk politics. Tony, good afternoon. You're in the game.
Roll Tide.
Roll Tide. Could you imagine editing audio to?
There's a lot I would have liked to edit out of the Vanderbilt.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Where would you have started if you were trying to edit?
It wouldn't have been much film. It had just been like, you'd just seen offense. That's all you would have seen. You wouldn't see anything but offense. That's it. And, and maybe not the pick 6 and the fumble. It'd have been nothing but highlight.
But it's a lot of.
It had taken, let's see, what do we have the ball? 17 minutes. So if we did the highlight, it'd be about a 3-minute show. About a 3-minute show, just scoring plays, big plays, whatever, 3-4 minute show. That's it.
I just can't.
I would have definitely edited, Sunbelt Canes Friar Schmuck wardrobe on the sidelines over there.
You didn't like it?
We're talking about Caleb DeBoer's outfit. What about what that guy had on? He had like the black belt, and he had the red top with the sleeves cut out. He looked like Friar Schmuck. But anyway, we won't. I don't want to get into that.
Who is?
I'm just glad to find. Well, Friar Tuck. He looked like Friar Schmuck over there.
Oh,
we couldn't cover anybody. That defense was pathetic. That's about as pathetic of a performance I've ever seen an Alabama team with all of its scholarship players play out there. That was embarrassing. It was embarrassing. I really think none of the, I saw where the assistant DC or whatever was talking to the media. Shut up. Don't say anything. Don't say anything. Show me.
And you know what? Hopefully this this defense has some pride. Hopefully they have some pride. Please.
Well, we're going to find out. And it's not going to be this week when we find out.
Next
week? It's not going to be this week. That's when we find out. Then we find out what we got next week.
Now, you being from the state of Tennessee and from Nashville.
That's right.
You got any smack
my
talkers?
My grandfather went to Vandy. So.
Okay. You got any smack talkers? Any? I mean,
Vandy doesn't talk smack. I mean, you saw the feminine guy talk smack a couple of years ago about y'all come into Vandy, we're gonna show you what football's like. Yeah. But they needed to talk smack. They deserved to talk smack. They smacked us around. They embarrassed us. We thought we were about to get embarrassed by Georgia. We've really got. What would be more embarrassing, to have lost the Georgia game or us losing the Vanderbilt game? Imagine. Okay. There you go. We need a good flush. I like that. I would be serious. What do you think? What do you think would be more embarrassing?
It would have. Both would have been. I can't imagine giving up that Georgia lead and then allowing them to win. Thank you, Ryan Williams. Thank you, Daniel Moore, for helping us remember that special moment. But
in Milroe, our hero, don't forget him. He's the one that threw a perfect
beautiful
pass
75-yard touchdown pass.
Perfect back shoulder, a little behind the receiver, so he could make the play on it. The DB couldn't, and then we had to have another. Then we went right. Well, can he play DB?
He could.
That's what we need. I'm telling you, that's what we need. I mean, oh Lord, I can't believe they let the DB coach talk to the media today. This week. I mean, he should be in hiding, but like his backfield was. But I'm glad to finally be out of jail. I tried to call a couple times. And,
Collect?
Yeah. I don't know who it was. Kept turning it down.
Jackson. Jackson, did you not accept the collect call from Tony from jail? Tuscaloosa. Was it the county jail or was it?
It was Nashville Metro.
Oh, Nashville Metro. Okay.
That's right.
Was it just a busy line, or did you actually hear somebody answer?
Well, I just heard them say, we accept a collect call from Nashville Metro Jail. Click. So,
it must have been an intern. Had to be.
I can't say I would have done any different, but I want to thank my people, Beatum, Cheatham, and Hal, my attorneys. They finally got me out of there. They didn't want me to leave. They didn't want me to leave, but I wanted to leave pretty bad. Tough time.
Were they not? They were not smack talking in there.
Well, again, it's Vanderbilt. What kind of smack talk? There's an Indian engineer talk.
Tony. Give me the 3 picks. I gotta go.
What do you have for free? I'll take 3. Minus 10%.
They're very smart, highly intelligent.
They are, man. I tell you, it was the craziest thing was when the game was over with. They had about 6 Asians and about 7 Indians trying to figure out how the best way from a physics standpoint to tear down the goalpost. It took them a little while. I figured they'd get it down pretty quick, but it took those jokers a little while. I saw a lot of erasers, a lot of calculators go out there and kind of steam it up a little bit.
They don't really have a lot of practice. I mean, they don't really.
They weren't ready for that.
No,
They had not studied for that.
No,
they had not studied. They were just off the cuff on that one. It took them a little while, but they finally got that sucker down.
All right, Tony,
get that sucker down.
Give me 3 picks, man. What do you think?
All right. Well, who did Bama Nick pick?
Well, Bama Nick's not calling in yet. He hadn't called in.
What? That sorry step sucker. All right.
We got in a big fight yesterday. I'm not sure if you heard about it. But
did he? No, I've been in jail. How can I hear about any of this stuff? I've missed the whole week. And let me tell you, rumor has it DeBoer might have thrown a little pressure on them to keep me in jail and keep me from calling here. That's the rumor.
That's what I heard, too.
Rumor.
Yeah, that's what I heard,
because I was coming after Sunbelt Kane.
Uh-oh.
I was definitely coming after, but that's right. All right.
Here we go.
So let me go out there. All right. I'm going to take
Bammer.
And I've got a special. Give me Bama.
Bama minus 20.
Don't give me Bama. You know I'm never going to bet on Alabama. All right. So I want over in the LSU Ole Miss game.
Okay, LSU over.
Believe it or not, I want over in the Texas-Oklahoma game.
Over 48.5. Got it?
Yeah. And now, this is for Max. Where's Max call from?
Tupelo, Mississippi.
Here is the Big Richards Take It to the Max Extra Length Flagpole Supplement Pick of the Year.
October.
Tennessee minus 14.5 in an absolute drubbing, and they're going to whip their fans into an absolute frenzy for the Tide to be coming rolling in next week.
All right, and tiebreaker is University of Alabama rushing yards.
You know what? I'm going to do about 125.
It is the Pharmacy at Midtown, TJ Thomas. TJ Thomas. We've talked about TJ quite a bit. The Pharmacy at Midtown, the only sterile compounding facility here in Tuscaloosa. The Pharmacy at Midtown. Tony, be good, man.
We just about it in the better. We can install. You couldn't stop us. You couldn't stop us.
No.
Roll Tide, everybody.
I don't know what to say. I'm kind of speechless. Let me go to Chris in Florence. Chris, bail us out. Good afternoon. You're in the game. Hey, Chris. Chris. No. How about Jonathan? Jonathan, good afternoon. You're in the game.
How you doing today, bud?
Yeah, good. Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, man, I listen to you every day, man. I need to start calling more, but my dad, I finally got him on board with it. He used to hate. He's like, "Why do you listen to this every day?" I'm like, "Well, Dad, I guess I just got too much Bama in me. I don't know."
That's a lot of our problem around here. We got too much Bammer. Yeah.
I gotta get my fix some way or another.
Jonathan, where are you calling us from, man?
I'm from Tuscaloosa.
Okay, Roll Tide.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Roll Tide, man. Roll Tide. Man, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow, man? You think our defense is going to show up, or are we? I hope. Last week, I don't understand. Like, I mean, the last 6 quarters of defense for Alabama have got to be historically the worst in program history, and I just don't understand like how we like go from the penthouse to the outhouse in 7 days. It's mind-boggling to me what's happened on our defense. I mean, our offense is so explosive that like the defense doesn't have a chance to even do it. I mean, it's not a bad thing, I guess, that you score every time you touch the ball, but at the same time, we gotta be able to pound the rock. I mean, we're Alabama. I mean, that's what we do. I don't know. I don't know. Hopefully it was a gut check for them and they'll figure it out. I hope. I really don't know though. But like the last guy said, we'll find out next week what we're made of.
We will. And hopefully this team, I think we're going to know a little something about this team tomorrow. How do they respond to this coaching? How do they respond, to kind of getting embarrassed against Vanderbilt? And I know they're owning it inside the building, and we'll see. We'll see. It's, I hope. Fingers crossed.
I feel the same.
But I can't speak with certainty. I just don't know. I mean, it's so. Jonathan, give me 3 picks, man.
I'm going to take Bama, Georgia, Ole Miss.
Okay. Ole Miss. Got it. And then Bama rushing yards. Where you want to go?
Let's go with, I think they'll be hard to come by, but I want to say at least 150.
Okay, I got it. 150. Ole Miss, Georgia, Alabama, 150. Hey, Jonathan, thanks for being a long-time listener, man. I really appreciate it. Man. And tell your dad, roll Tide too.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you, buddy.
Thank
roll
you,
Tide.
Jonathan, right here in Tuscaloosa. Roll Tide to you, man. We'll come back. We're taking more phone calls. Anthony. Okay, we'll talk to Anthony coming up here in just a couple of minutes. We have a line available at 205-342-9904. Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
You.
I'm good. Oh, you don't sound very good. You don't feel very good.
I'm not.
You got that Democrat flu?
I had the flu, then it went into bronchitis, I went and got a steroid injection, and that helped. But it's just with my RA, I don't get over stuff real quick, so because I don't have an immune system. So I didn't want to come up and not be able to be there for homecoming and the rest of the big games. So I had to call it, and so I'm not going to be there. I hate it. This is only the third home game since 2006 that I've missed.
Now, Kit Kat, what happens if we have like a shutout? Like, what if we beat them 52-0?
I don't know.
Maybe it's you that's coaching the defense.
I don't know.
I'm just teasing, by the way. I hope you get to feel better. Get you some ivermectin. Find you a doctor that's got a little guts, and he'll write it for you.
Okay.
And you'll feel. I promise you, I'm not kidding with you. But you got to find a doctor that's got guts. Most of them don't.
Yeah, I'll do that. I think we may have some pools somewhere. But, well, is everything going okay? You said Tuscaloosa.
It's packed. It's packed.
It's like packed out?
Yes.
Well, that's good. That's good, because I was worried about it being an 11 o'clock kick that people were just going to kind of go and not show up. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, it's big.
That's good. That's good. Okay, well, I know everybody else is holding on.
Kit Kat, I want to ask you, because we got like 6 minutes right here.
Okay.
The ladies' perspective. What'd you think about the apparel? Because I didn't have a problem with it, but I'm a dude, so I don't have a problem. You know, my wife makes me wear undershirts with my polos. And
if it was my husband, I wouldn't have sent him wearing that to be in the nation. But that's up to him, and I don't care. Just like Mary said, I don't care if he's a great coach and he's standing on our side and he's wearing that script day, then he can wear whatever he wants.
Okay, I agree. And I hope he trolls us tomorrow and comes out like in a full tuxedo or something. I don't know. You know what I mean? Just to
see, I wouldn't like that. I don't want him to look like he's trying to be Mr. Big Shot. We don't really, I guess, know what his style is yet. It's just time for us to just kind of let him show us his style, you know?
Yeah. He's probably accustomed to coaching, out on the West Coast, and this is a little hot for him, I'm sure.
Yeah, and that's exactly what my husband said. He was like, "Well, you got to remember, that's different climate where he came from, so he's not knowing what to do." But I don't know. I think that's the least of our worries.
No,
we don't need to worry.
I agree. Listen, if Elijah Pritchett hits that block and we go down the field and score, we're not talking about a shirt, and I could care less.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So, have Britt's in the background going, "Are y'all talking about the shirt?" He just walked in.
Roll Tide,
he just walked in. He said, "Roll Tide." But okay, well, I know everybody's going, "God, I want to call in." I'll give you my picks.
Okay.
And I just want to say, I'm sorry I'm not there, everybody. We miss y'all, and please represent and spring Roll Tide for us. We love y'all. And here's my pick.
All right, here we go.
Okay, Tennessee.
Yeah, Lord. Okay, I'm writing it down. I'm not saying anything. LSU.
Kentucky.
University of Alabama rushing yards.
I'm going to say 192.
192. Kit Kat, thank you so much for being a part of our show.
Okay, Roll Tide. We're going to miss y'all. Let's get it done, okay?
Roll Tide. Thank you, Kit Kat. Roll Tide. Let's go to Ellis in Manchester, Tennessee. Ellis, good afternoon. You're in the game.
How's it going, Ryan Fowler?
I'm good.
I'm in Titletown as we speak.
Roll Tide.
Did
Kit Kat leave you the keys to the skybox? Did Did she leave you the keys?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
good. Okay. So you're in charge. You're in charge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Gonna party down.
Yeah. All right. Let's go. Your 3 picks.
I'm gonna go with Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
I'm gonna go with the Oregon Ducks.
Okay, Oregon. Got it. Pick number 3.
I'm going with Vandy.
Vandy. Bama rushing yards. Where do you want to go?
185.
185. I got it, man. Appreciate you, Ellis.
Roll Tide, Ryan Fowler.
Roll Tide. Let's go to Bama Nick. Bama Nick, how are you?
I'm doing all right, Fowler. Look, I'll make it quick.
Okay.
Get off here. We got a few more callers.
Well, actually, you're the last duck through the hole. I mean, you're the last guy. I mean, you.
Yeah, well, I was trying to get Bama Kathy to call in.
Oh, okay.
He just got back.
Okay.
Give me Ohio State.
Ohio State. Buckeyes.
Yeah, give me Utah. And USC.
And then University of Alabama rushing yards.
141, Fowler.
141. I got it. Anything else?
No, that'll get it, Fowler. I'll talk to you later.
All right, thanks. Bama Nick. Only about 2 minutes, but if you want to jump in, 205-342-9904. We've done an SEC Parlay Pick Contest presented by Brian Harden Construction. Also want to remind you about the BMW of Tuscaloosa, redefining your car buying experience with a customer-first philosophy. We're driving satisfaction to new heights with an improved inventory that you can't miss. BMW of Tuscaloosa. We greatly appreciate them for being a part of our show and our station right here in Tuscaloosa. We're going to finish up if we're done. Jackson, you going to the game tomorrow? You going to the game?
I'll be there. I'll be there in the student section. I'll be out on the quad tailgating beforehand.
Okay. You partying it up tonight? It's 11 o'clock game.
See,
man.
I don't want to because of that start time. Tailgate starts at 8:30, so I don't want to, but I could be persuaded.
Okay. They won't twist your arm, huh? No?
I don't know. I'll probably twist it myself.
All right. Be safe out there.
I will.
I think Alabama answers the bell tomorrow. I really do. I think this team is...
Defensively?
They got embarrassed. It's kind of like studying for exam. You didn't study. You made a poor grade. Now you come back, bounce back.
Defensively, you think we stand up?
I do. I'm not. Listen, you're not 2011. We're not. We're never going to be 2011, 2016 good. Okay, that's just not who this unit is. Can we be a serviceable defense? Yeah, I think we can.
I think we can.
And I'm not saying I think my prediction.
If we can tackle, I think we're all right.
I think I put my prediction 35-17.
35-17.
So that's not even covering the spread either. So. But I didn't want to say that. But hey, find me on Facebook. Find me on Twitter at Ryan C. Fowler. Do a connection there. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us all week. It's been a rough week to do radio in Tuscaloosa. And if anybody, we're going to make an agreement. We're going to do an NIL next week, okay? If our defense plays like that, I'm going to bring them all in here, and they can talk to the Alabama fans for 4 hours. That's punishment enough. Forget about running bleachers or anything else. Just bring them in here and let them do sports talk radio.
That's a good idea. I like that.
I mean, we'll have to talk to the board about that, but
I'm sure he'd send you 2 players.
Yeah, bring them in here. Let them take phone calls. Tell you what, I'm persuaded to go out there and tackle somebody, and I couldn't even start about it. But I like Alabama to get the job done. I think they will. I hope all the favorites lose and all the underdogs win. We'll see you guys. Reminding you that we call this program The Game, and the only way that you win the big game, the game of life, is to walk daily with our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Good night, T-Town. Have a great weekend. Roll Tide.
Thank you for listening to The Game with Ryan Fowler, powered by Tuscaloosa Toyota, on your home for Alabama sports, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Accidents happen.